You want to start it off? Actually, got the chance to watch it a little bit. Not as much as I wanted to. I caught it the start of it and the finish of it. Oh, hold on, wait a second. Wait a second. There we go. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, no, that game was well. What teams have surprised you the most so far? Just in the first week. Yeah. Yeah, the Jazz, I believe, are still undefeated, which is really surprising to me. If you would have told me that there four teams are left undefeated and the Jazz would be one of them, wouldn't have believed you at first. However, they've proven everybody wrong so far. They seem fine without Donovan, without Rudy Gobert, which is a test. They got Colin Sexton, Laurie Marketing. They all playing good. You feel me? We're obviously in here now. Yeah, Marketing is playing really, really good. And better than what I thought he would be playing. And yeah, no, the Jazz look like a good basketball team right now. That leads me into the Pelicans as well. The Pelicans have surprised me so far. Even when they played without Zion and without Brandon Ingram, I believe it was 8 players they had in double digits. I got to watch a chance to watch that whole game. They were on fire, absolutely on fire against the Mavericks. It was a pleasure to watch that game. Genuinely, it was good basketball, and I really like Jose Alvarado. The way he plays defensively and offensively with so much energy at the NBA level. I love to see that. Love to see that. Yes, that one guy that's just picking up 94 feet, playing the whole time. All right, yeah, no, I really like the way that the Pelicans have been playing so far. Even when they don't have their two star players, I would say the two top guys on the Pelicans would be Bi and Zion. I'd say CJ McCollum is that third guy, but without those two top guys, they seem pretty good. Yeah, yeah. And Trey Murphy looks good too right now.
Yeah, I was just Trey Murphy. Trey Murphy, he's looking good. He's 40% from deep, 3-and-D guy. He got some upside. He's good. He had a great game his last game too. 100% from the field.
Um, with that, Rob, we already went over our top 10, and that's the only thing you missed out on so far. But
Uh,
does anybody want to bring up the first topic
Oh, well,
besides the Pelicans?
I was gonna ask another question off the top 10
Okay,
because
go ahead.
you said the teams that surprised us. I wonder
Hmm.
who disappointed y'all so far. So like, who do you feel like ain't really living up to expectations?
uh,
First,
definitely to start off. That's my
definitely.
team,
Who was it?
Philly.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I can see because you know how the NBA is going to schedule like high profile matchups at the beginning of the season, obviously, because the stars going to be stars v stars. So I can see if they was 2-2, maybe you win half of those games, you lose half. But that 0-3 start, this is not a good start for them. It's inexcusable to have a top six player in Embiid and the scoring champ, and then you got a former MVP alongside him and Doc Rivers. They got a good constructed team. Maxey, he's gonna be good too. Maxey will probably be all star in a couple years. He's gonna take that next step. I don't know what's going on in Philly, but I think they need to get it together. It's definitely been disappointing, and then the Lakers too, obviously. But I wouldn't say disappointing. It is a disappointment. It is, but I'm not gonna say they disappointed me only because I seen it coming. That's just Russ, LeBron, and AD. That trio is just not gonna work. It's experiment that they tried and they failed. It's time to move Russ and just see where things go and see how far LeBron and AD can take them. But with LeBron aging like that and Russ clanking on the side of the backboard and all that, they're disappointing too for sure. And they're gonna waste LeBron's last year, so it sucks, man. It sucks.
Yeah, and I just feel like they didn't make the right moves in the off season. They went and
Mm-hmm.
got young guys, but they didn't get guys that really fit in with their system. So
Yeah,
it just ain't a lot of hope for the Lakers. But the 76ers is probably my biggest disappointment too. They looked good season opener against the Celtics. Then I don't know what happened. They don't got it together defensively, and they have too many turnovers. Philly just they got a lot they need to fix before they can really be a contender or anything like that.
yeah,
To think just back 2 years ago, the Lakers won the championship is absolutely insane to think about. Um,
We got a
Russ,
follower.
I I heard rumors that it was either Russ or DeMar DeRozan, and the Lakers truly made the wrong decision. You know,
they.
DeMar DeRozan, he played like an MVP for a little bit last season. He's been playing pretty consistent throughout last season and the start of this season. Russ was truly, obviously, the wrong decision to go with. Also, the team that I would say has disappointed me the most so far this NBA season, as a team, would be the Brooklyn Nets because KD and Kyrie, they're still playing good. They both had a game where they dropped 37. However, Ben Simmons, I had high hopes for him. I have high hopes for him going into every season, but he continues to disappoint. He continues to. He has 17 points so far and 14 fouls.
And that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's absolutely insane. And I'm a Ben Simmons fan. I want Ben Simmons to do amazing. However, he has not been playing to the height that I would see him play yet.
Mm-hmm.
Still,
No, and
in any situation.
it's hard for me to really watch Ben Simmons. Like I was watching the Nets play the other day, and he just passes up on some shots where it's like you got to take those. Like, and
Yeah,
sometimes he'll make a pass and he'll get an assist, but it's like I want to see you score that. You're right next to the rim. Let's get down there.
Exactly.
And
yeah.
he
I
has the.
don't.
What you gonna say?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
He has the guys around him now to where he can really pass it around. Like it's not hard to pass the ball to KD and Kyrie, but somehow
Mhm.
he still doesn't make it look good. Like he still just looks like he's got to be doing more for the offense. So I don't know about the Nets this year.
My thing with Ben Simmons is, and then T Mac was talking about this with Rudy Gobert. Like in the offseason, like what are you working on? Like as an NBA player, every single season, especially if you're a star, there's no excuse if you're a star. Every single season, there's going to be improvement on something. Whatever a weakness was for you the year before, you should be better at it the year. Especially Ben Simmons, the number one overall pick, his rookie of the year. He's been an all-star for multiple years, and he still has the same offensive bag as he had when he came to the league. So he's not taking basketball seriously, obviously, because there's no way that he hasn't made a stride in anything. I mean, his jump shot's literally the same. If he shot a three right now, it's not going in, and that's why he still don't shoot. He said he was going to shoot in the offseason. I haven't seen him hit 1 3. I know he hasn't hit 1 3 because the internet would have went crazy.
Right.
So he has no threes this year. I haven't seen him hit a jump shot. He's done fouled out of back-to-back games. And that's never going to work as him as a third scoring option. You really need about like three guys in front of him that can get like damn near 20 for Ben Simmons to fit with your team. Because you got KD and Kyrie. That's 2 balls. We know what they're going to do, but that's only 60 points. People get that at halftime. It's NBA teams. They get that halftime and within a quarter and a half if they're hot. Like The Nets, their problem is they got a poorly constructed team and they put all their marbles in KD and Kyrie's basket and they don't have nobody else. So that they need another scorer, a legit scorer right now for them to help their team. If not, it's gonna be the same result as last year. And I bet they go out in the first or second round. I might say second round just because KD is still KD and KD might go another level in the playoffs. Same with Kyrie, but
Yeah.
I just Brooklyn as a team. I don't think they're a top 10 team right now. I would have left them off my list personally. I just don't like them as a team.
I don't think
And
they'll be
I
on the
agree
list
with
for
you as a
long.
team aspect. And to reply to a comment that was made earlier, somebody said we want a chip with Bron and AD, which is correct. LeBron and AD did lead the Lakers to a championship. That team was 2 years ago, and the Lakers still only have they disconstructed that entire team. And the
Entire team.
only two players on that team that are still on the team today is LeBron and Anthony Davis. The every other single player on that team is gone.
And they didn't get
You
And
better.
you know what's crazy? They did that for no reason.
Yeah, they
Why
didn't
did
get
you
better.
did that for no look? If they still would have had Kuz, look at Kuz in Washington. He's not no all-star, but Kuz gets buckets. Kuz is good for 15. And then when he's hot, he's gonna get about 20, 25, and he can do that off the bench.
Mhm.
They obviously should have chose DeRozan. That was just dumb. But who else was on that team? I mean, Rondo was coming off the
Caruso,
Caruso.
Caruso.
Caruso was a absolute like he could come off play and he would play defense too. See, I like
Yeah,
Lonnie Walker's defense, but at the same time, Caruso he was coming in he was contributing on offense and on defense.
yeah,
Last year that was a big hole. Defense was a big hole.
very big holder. You can tell they missed Caruso last year, and I mean, you get Pat Bev, but I mean, Caruso's actually playing defense. Pat Bev's trying to hurt somebody, and he's gonna get a tech and a foul. Like Caruso's gonna play defense without fouling most of the time.
And
He's
Caruso's gonna be more consistent on offense
Yeah,
as
he get a
well.
bucket.
more
Caruso get a
consistent
bucket.
on offense. He's got a Pat Bev. His ceiling's like right here. It just got the defense part, and he's got some value on a team, but that's just not somebody they traded for him, right? That's not somebody you trade for, and then you give up THT, and you hold on to THT and leave him out of all these trade packages over the years, and then you give him up for Pat Bev. Look, the Lakers could have included THT in so many trade packages that would have made their team better, and they give him up for Pat Bev.
Yeah.
Rob Pelinka should be in jail for what he's doing in LA right now. That's why
And,
Magic left.
and Rob Pelinka just should have never been a GM. He was really put in that position because of Kobe and off of word of
Yeah.
fame and word of mouth. And that just it's never gonna work. And like the comment said, they had a good 3-and-D build around AD and Brian, but made bad decisions in the front office. And yeah, if you look at LeBron's career, he's been successful anytime he's had shooters around him. Shooters that can
Yeah.
play defense. They've gotten Russell Westbrook and Patrick Beverly as their guards, two guys who can't shoot at all. And
Yeah.
That's the worst two guards to put around LeBron James, in my opinion.
yeah,
Back up to that's the worst back tandem of all time.
exactly.
Russ, Russ and Pat Bev next to Bron. Look, you know where the Lakers messed up again last year is letting go of Malik Monk. They should have gave Malik Monk not big money, but they should have gave him maybe a 1 or 2 year, maybe like 12 million or something like that. You got to pay Malik Monk because Malik Monk's a double digit scorer and he can shoot. He can shoot from the parking lot for real when he's hot. That's a good shooter to have on your team. They shouldn't have let go of Malik Monk. And then yeah, Kuz and all that. They shouldn't have. Even Danny Green. Look, before Danny Green missed that shot in Game 6, nobody really had a real issue with him. Maybe in the playoffs he might have been
Yeah,
missing a little,
he was playing kind of iffy in the playoffs, but you have a point. He was very consistent in the regular season, and
but
like
yeah,
it's a lot better option than having Pat Bev out there at three. Because
yeah,
I'm more confident in Danny Green taking the three than Pat Bev. But you know what feeds into that even more? LeBron James' decision making. He's gonna make the right play in his head, but he's passing to some of the most questionable players on the court.
yeah,
And a lot of people have been comparing his decision making to Jason Tatum's because Jason Tatum he's starting to take double team shots that you would see Kobe take while he would have teammates open, but they're
yeah.
going in. And honestly, as a basketball fan, I would want to see my best player taking a shot. I
I
don't
do
want to
too.
see I don't want to see LeBron passing up on shots to pass it to Pat Bev in the corner so he can throw it off the top of the backboard. That's not what I want to see as a basketball fan.
Yeah. I feel that. And LeBron's thing is, this is why I criticize. Now, I used to be a LeBron hater. I can't lie. I did used to be a LeBron hater, but I've grown to respect him over the years just because he's one of the greats, and got older, more mature, just stuff like that. But anyway, LeBron's thing is, I criticize him because it's not that we're saying, "Oh, LeBron, that's a bad pass. You made the wrong play." It's not that you made the wrong play. It's just, why would you put a championship in this person's hands? Now, Kobe passed the Ron Artest in 2010, and Michael Jordan passed the Paxson and Steve Kerr. They've done it before, but 9 times
Every single game.
No.
10, LeBron and Kobe are shooting that. And look, even if they take a bad shot, I want the ball in Michael Jordan's hands. If we lose, if the ship sinks, I want to say it's on Michael Jordan. I don't want to say Bill Cartwright is the reason why we lost the finals. No, you give it to MJ. And if he makes it, he makes it. If he misses, he misses. Your best player, like LeBron, he's supposed to be shooting that. And I hate when LeBron passes. Even if it's a good pass, I don't care. Shoot the ball, dude. If the sink sinks. If the ship sinks, oh my gosh. If the ship sinks, LeBron, it should be on LeBron, not on Danny Green. That's why, like, everybody's trying to, man, everybody's trying to blame Danny Green and all that. And it is his fault for missing the shot. But LeBron, I want LeBron shooting that. Man, my tongue almost fell out my mouth.
I completely agree with you. And like I said, Jason Tatum, the route he's going down, I'm really liking to see it. And by no means is he a ball hog either. It's just that whenever he's hot, he's gonna be hot, and he's gonna keep that ball rolling, and that's where you see him dropping 37, 42, and the
Yeah,
team is winning.
yeah,
Look at the Boston Celtics right now. They're winning, and the Lakers are losing.
yeah. Yeah.
Anybody else?
All
Nah,
right, so we can move on from our top 10 and our most and biggest disappointments. So our next topic, I wanted to get into some high school basketball talk real quick. Over the weekend, OTE had their season opener, and Bronny, who else was in attendance? Bronny, the Boozer twins,
I
and then
think,
the Blue Checks, Mikey and Rob, and the team they put together. But
yeah,
it was a
Yeah,
really
Bronny.
good slate of basketball.
Yep.
But
good
They
weekend.
Go ahead, Rob.
All right, now Rob Billingham put on a show. He put on a show. He's really out there like freestyling. Like, I don't know if it can work at, like, how like people got high school games. Like, he's definitely got a high school game, and he can polish it when he gets to Kentucky, and Cal will work with him and stuff like that. But if he can really put all them pieces together, he's really gonna be scary. Because as far as just like making a move, getting around your man, tough shot. Like, he's doing that consistently. He's doing it with each too. He's cooking. He's cooking everybody. So it's gonna be nice to see him at the next level. And if that game translates, I can see him being, or he'll be a lottery pick with these. I can see him being like a top 5 pick, maybe top 10. He's skinny. He got to put some weight on, but I can see him being up there for sure. He's a good prospect. He just got to put the pieces together. But yeah, I like what I seen from Rob Dillingham. And then the Boozer,
Absolutely.
um, the older one, what, Cameron?
They're
He's a
twins,
yeah.
but yeah, Cam.
Know what I mean? The big one. My bad.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
The guard's good too. I usually see, every time I see the Boozer twins, I see more highlights of the other one, just
Right,
because
Cam.
better player. But I see the younger one too, Caden. He's good too. He's getting recruited. He's
Yep,
a 5 like his brother. But not Cameron Boozer. He's looking
yep.
like he's legit. He's really legit. As a 14-year-old,
yeah,
he's really out there doing everything,
and
Hmm.
dunking the ball, shooting the ball. He's defending. He's doing everything.
I had seen a post somebody made, and they said that outside of Victor, that they think Cameron Boozer is the best prospect in the world right now. And
I seen.
I really don't think it's crazy to say that just because he's 14 and what he did against OTE last weekend when he was playing against a lot of guys who are 19, supposed to be a year out of high school, that
Yeah.
he just looks like it's too easy. He has every
Yeah.
tool that he needs to be a guy in the league. So I think he's gonna have a really, really good career. Like he's gonna be
Hmm.
a top level prospect when he enters the draft. But I really think he might be one of the best prospects in the world, and he's only 14 years old.
No, yeah, no, he's the
Correct.
best
And
player.
Another thing about them is obviously they're twins, so a lot of people expect them to be a package deal. A lot of people expect them to go to Duke. Duke's been on their radar since they were kids. Obviously, their father won a national championship with Duke in 2001. However, I have also heard that Cooper Flagg, who was in the same class as them, said that his dream school is Duke. If those three land on the Duke team together, that's going to be a scary team. It's going to be a long time till then. They're very young,
Mm.
but if they all go to the same school, that is going to be a scary basketball team.
Yeah, and Cooper Flag, he's a nice prospect too. He's legit, and I know he list of being one of the best high school prospects in the world right now too. I think he was in that top 5. He's good too. He's
Yep.
fine, nice shot. And he play. You know what I like about him? I see him blocking shots and playing defense. He's not one of them dudes that just goes out there and gets buckets. Getting buckets, that ain't easy, but there's a lot of people in the country that can get buckets. But when you do it at both ends, and what players don't know, when you get that part of your game down now, like some people don't get that till they get to the league. Like, okay, let me work on my defense. Let me try harder. Let me impact the game on this level now. Not players like Cooper Flag, they get it now. So when they go to college and they go to the next level and so on and so forth, they're already doing what they've been doing as kids. He's 15 at Montverde and he's already playing defense, taking pride on it. Like I like that when I see that from players. Get your block shots, get the defense side now. He's always gonna have the offense. All these players now we see that. But when you're 2-way and you can really defend that that
Move up and down the floor at his height.
yeah. Because he moves like a guard and he can
Yeah.
jump. Yeah, so he's legit too. I hope dude don't get him. I hope they don't.
That'll be a scary trio.
That's something
Yeah.
that I like about the Boozer twins too, though. Caden,
Yeah.
he even plays defense. I know the camera's a lot bigger; it's easier for him to
Yeah.
block shots, but Caden be all over the floor. He hustles, he
Hmm.
plays defense. They both run the floor in transition really well, so they
Yeah.
got a lot of things. Like you can tell that their dad was an NBA player. Like you can tell that
Yeah.
they grew up with those things being focused on. Like you got to do the
Yeah.
little things. Which, speaking of that, going back to Rob for a second, how do you feel about that aspect of Rob game? I haven't really. He gets a lot of steals, but he's not the best defender. He's
Right.
not a really like a rebounder or anything like that. Do you think that that's gonna play a factor in him at Kentucky? Like, is that something that's gonna
It,
struggle?
it's definitely gonna play a factor at Kentucky because I feel like when you don't have that, think about Trey Young. This is who I think of. I think of when I think of somebody whose talent is like it's so like overwhelming that like you look past the defensive side. Like Trey Young's probably the worst defender in the NBA, but his guard skills are so elite. He's still gonna get 30 and 10 on average, 28 and 10 or whatever, and he's still gonna make an impact. And most nights he's gonna outscore his man. That's why it's not really that big. It's not that big of an issue when it comes to a player like that. But Rob, his defense, he doesn't really play no defense. He's got instincts like maybe get a steal or whatnot. He might get in the lanes, but as far as sitting down and locking up, no, he don't have that part of his game
Yeah.
down. And I've seen evaluators go scouts and stuff go watch him, and then when I read up about like what he needs to work on, defense is always in there, and he needs to start taking pride on that. So he'll get exposed a little bit at Kentucky, but if you don't play defense for Cal, then he won't play, and they got plenty of guards in there, so
Yeah.
or he'll bench because as good as he is, if he's getting scored on every single play, Cal will have DJ in there over Rob, and they're like this. So I mean, he's not really
Yeah.
losing nothing. He'll
Mm.
have to
That's what
work
I
on.
was about to point out. See, at the NBA level, and with Trey Young especially, I would agree that in my opinion, he's the absolute worst basketball defender in the league. But
Yeah,
you, the Hawks scheme it, and they
yeah,
hide him on defense.
yeah,
If you watch a Hawks game, he's never on the ball. He's probably guarding somebody in the corner at every second of the game. They hide him on defense. They can scheme that way in the NBA.
yeah,
In college, it's kind of more difficult to do that, especially when you get a player for 1 year and then he's gone. Cal's not gonna. I don't think he'll be trying to make those adjustments early on in the year. It'll be difficult for him to find a real role with that team if DJ comes. Cal will figure out a way to make them both work. I could see them having a two guard system right there, but uh, Rob's he's got to get his defense to improve if he wants to go very, very high in the draft. I'm talking like top five. If you want to be a top five pick,
Yeah.
he got to get that defense. But as of right now, I don't see it. He is offensively amazing. I don't know a single player in the nation that can guard him at any level, but at any collegiate or high school level. I don't think anybody can guard that man.
Uh, he
But
he got that offense.
he needs to work on the defense. And as a guard, rebounding it can help because DJ can rebound. He can play defense. He's gonna be a teammate, but at the same time, there's gonna be a little friendly competition there.
Yeah.
If DJ does end up at Kentucky, there'll be a little competition there. So
Yeah, I think it's
we'll
gonna be
see
a
how
lot of
that goes.
competition. A lot of
Yeah.
competition.
And then Reed, you got Shepard in there too.
Right. Yeah,
Don't forget.
they got guys coming.
But he does all the stuff that Cal's gonna be looking for. Reed Shepard's probably gonna do it even before them two, because I can see Cal getting on Rob about defense and stuff. Like, I know Reed Shepard's gonna go out there and he's gonna attempt to play defense as best he can. He's not gonna be slack. He's like one of them do it all guys.
Yeah.
And he's on the court just because he's got
Reed
the strap.
Shepard, he has a dog heart in him. And
Yeah.
replying to a comment that somebody just said, they said hopefully Cal can develop the defensive part. Being very close to Kentucky basketball my entire life, I have heard many times that Coach Cal doesn't start developing players' defense until the start of December. So that's always been odd to me. I don't really know why he does that. I'm sure he has his own philosophy, but they don't focus on defense until December starts. It doesn't make sense to me, but it'll be interesting to see how that goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I think a little bit of Rob's problem is gonna be size right now. Like
Yeah.
guards at the next level get bigger, faster, stronger, and I don't know how much bigger and stronger Rob is gonna get in
Yeah.
a year's
Yeah.
time. So
He's definitely, yeah. Now that's the next step. He needs to be doing that now because he's got a whole year before he goes to. So he really needs to pick up at least like 10 pounds while he's at Donda for this last year. About 10, 15 might be pushing it, but 10, 10,
It'll be
10.
it'll be interesting to see if he even stays at Donda
I'm
with all
saying
this Kanye
Donda
stuff going on.
exists.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Rob is one of them out of box type of dudes too. So I wouldn't even be surprised if he didn't have no issue staying with Donda. So, and then AJ Johnson there too. So we'll see. We'll see.
Somebody asked a question in the comments. They said, "Y'all see a little bit of Tyler Ulis and Rob offensively? Absolutely.
He
Undersized guard that can handle the ball, run the team, put the ball in the bucket. Yes, at the college level, absolutely. However, Tyler Ulis was an absolute dog on
That's
defense.
what I was finna say.
He's gonna get in the offensive backcourt. He's gonna
yeah,
pick up 94 feet. He's gonna cause havoc on defense.
yeah.
That's the only difference I would say.
To me,
Obviously, Rob has the bag though. Go
to
ahead.
me, my best Rob comparison is Darius Garland at Vanderbilt. Like I think he's gonna be at Kentucky. He's gonna be a really offensive minded guy. They might let him run the offense a little bit, try to get him into more of a passing type of style. He's not. I don't think he's gonna shoot as many crazy shots. But yeah, Tyler Eulis was definitely a dog. Like he played with heart. Like he was hustling on the floor. I don't see that from Rob, so I don't know. I don't really see a lot of
Yeah. Some players just got it in them, and some don't. But in the long run, he'll end up being better than Ulis.
Of course.
Anyway,
Yeah.
you he can only do so much with his frame. So I mean, Rob's like 6'1". He ain't that big, but he can make it work with his talent. He can make it work.
Yeah.
He's
And Cal's gonna make him a professional player. He even got Tyler Ulis, who's like 5'9" to the NBA. So
nah,
on the roster in the NBA, he's gonna get him as a first round draft pick. He's gonna be probably effective in the league. Like I said already, I don't know a single person that I was hands down say can guard him and that
yeah,
can hold him under 20. So we'll see where that goes. But he'll get to the league. He'll be a good player. Absolutely.
yeah. They just announced that him and AJ Johnson coming to Louisville like December 11th, and they're gonna play Reed Shepard's team. So I might go out and watch them
him.
and
Oh
see what they
yeah,
talk.
I seen that.
Gonna be
That'd be a good matchup to watch.
yeah,
It's a lot of games going on that weekend.
yeah.
I
A lot
can't
of
think
games.
of what's called.
They got Huntington Prep coming. And then one more team is coming, and I forget who it is, but I know for sure at Donda and North Laurel play.
Yeah, I definitely will be at that game.
Yeah.
The one y'all won't get into the topic y'all got.
You want to go or me?
You can go, bro.
All right. My first question is gonna be, Going into the season, we're disregarding injuries. One of them is hurt right now. Would you rather, just any random team, would you rather have Pascal Siakam or Chris Middleton? You can consider the first week that Pascal has had. Pascal has played very well. I believe the last time I looked, he was averaging 26 and a half points, 10 rebounds, and about 4 assists. And that was just so far in the first week, which is first week numbers. However, he's been playing good so far. But my question is, who would you rather have going into the season?
I think Middleton has been so injury prone that people kind of forget how Middleton plays at his peak. Like when Middleton at his peak, people compare him to KD, and it's not a bad comparison at
Yeah,
times.
nah, he's definitely a bucket.
Depending on my situation, what I need, I would probably go with Middleton because I think it'll be easier to build around him. But if I have a situation where I got a couple pieces, then I probably would go Pascal because I feel like he fits in any place for real. But Middleton, if I got the
Mhm.
chance to build a really strong unit around Middleton, I think I can make something happen with that. So I probably would go Middleton.
What
Yeah,
about you, Rob?
I like what he's saying, but I would just flip it. I think it'll be easier to build a team around Pascal than it would be Middleton. Because Middleton, would I want Middleton to lead my team? I wouldn't want Pascal to lead my team in scoring either. But I think Pascal, his game is more reliable to where if I need 20 points, like if I need 20 points, I think Pascal might get me that 20 more often than
Yeah, more
Middleton
consistently.
relied on a jump shot. He's a wing, and he's not real athletic, so he's not getting to the basket and finishing over the top of bigs and dunking on big stuff like that. So he needs his jumper, and Pascal does too. He's a mid range shooter. But he can also post up, and it's going to be easier for him to score down low and stuff like that too. And he's only getting better. And this year he's looking like he's going to be pretty good. He just had 37, I think, the other night. So he's yeah, and he can shoot too. I just like him. I just like him as a player. He works hard. He's all. I mean, I don't really know about him being injured too much. I mean, he seems like he's reliable. I know he was there for Toronto last year in playoffs and playing well. So I think if he keeps going up, I think he can be an All-Star again this year. He had an All-Star year in 2020, I believe, and he had a good year for Toronto. He was an All-Star starter. That and people don't remember that, but Pascal's pretty good. I'm gonna go with Pascal by a little bit. By a little bit.
Yeah. Obviously, with me, it's situational as well. If you need a big, you take the big. If you need a guard, you take the guard. However, disregarding injuries, Chris Middleton is a great player, right? But Pascal Siakam and both of them can fit into any system. I feel
Yeah,
like those are two players in the league that you can put into any system and they will thrive. Both of them with any team. However, I do feel like with Pascal Siakam, he can take a backseat role. He can be the best player on your team, night in, night out.
yeah,
Same, same with Chris Middleton a little bit, but I wouldn't want Chris Middleton to be my Batman. So I would take Pascal Siakam right now. However, on Chris Middleton's hot nights, he's miles ahead of Pascal Siakam. But
yeah.
if I want somebody to lead my team or take the back seat, either one, I'm taking Pascal Siakam over Chris Middleton as of right now.
Now I agree with y'all. Pascal definitely has a higher ceiling though, so
Yeah.
I can see
Yeah.
going either or, but I just think
All right.
Middleton is a nice
Yeah.
piece, a nice
And
fit.
that's another thing though, real quick, before we go to another topic. I think when you talk about ceiling, I think Pascal, it's not that he can take his game to another level, but I think he can keep on improving on the stuff that he's
Yeah,
doing
that he already has.
better. And he's young too. He's not that old. I bet he's younger than Middleton. Middleton's been in the league for a little bit, but the thing with Middleton is we've done seen peak Middleton, and I think that's where it ends right there. I don't think there's another level that Middleton's going to take his game to, which he don't need to. He's already, I mean, he's an all-star, he's an NBA champion, but I think he's going to stick right in that 20 to 22 points per game range, and then he's better off as a Batman. I can see Pascal leading the team eventually. I can see him averaging 25 for the Raptors this year, and they can get like a 7 seed maybe. I can see that. But I think Middleton is, about 20, 22 points per game. I can't see Middleton averaging 28 a game just because his inconsistency is a big thing with his game too, and people always talk about it.
No, yeah, he is. He's he struggles with consistency. I definitely will hold that against him. He's got to be more consistent, but that's what comes with shooters. He's a
Yep.
streaky type
Yeah.
of shooter guy. I feel like Middleton coming back to the Bucks this year, sitting out for a lot though. I think he'll have some time to really
Yeah.
ease into the role he needs to be in for the Bucks this year. So I think
Yeah.
Middleton to come back and surprise a lot of people this year. I
Yeah.
can see
And
Pascal.
I just fact checked it. Pascal Siakam is 3 years younger.
Mhm.
Middleton's 31. Pascal's 28.
Yeah, Pascal's 28. So that means if Pascal takes care of his body, he could be like a top 5 power forward for the next 5 years. By the time he's 33, and I don't know if his longevity's like everybody's not LeBron and everybody like that, but for the next 28, that's a good age for him. He's got prime years ahead of him. Middleton will start to decline in probably like 3, probably
Yeah. Off of
about.
that fact, I might switch it. I didn't know that Middleton was that old.
Yeah, Middleton might be cooked by about 3 years. Yeah, he's gonna have a little mileage on him.
Yeah. He already got the injuries on him.
Yeah.
Rob, you wanna bring up a topic?
Yeah. I was gonna bring up a topic. Who you guys think is the best player in the world right now? And I think you definitely have Giannis in there for sure, no question. And then you got Steph in there, and then I want to put KD in there because as far as just the best player in the world, KD's definitely in there. He's gonna get overlooked a little bit though, just because of his team success, which means something obviously, but just focusing on just the players themselves right now. So Cam, you go ahead, Cam, and I'll go last.
I'll start with I would want to put it in a top three in
Yeah,
my
go.
in my opinion. Honestly, right now, obviously KD is an amazing player, but in my opinion, top three in the world, I don't see him over Luca right now. Luca looks amazing. Now I'm gonna put Luca in my third. I'm still gonna have my top two as Steph Curry and Giannis. However, right now, I'm gonna take Steph Curry. And Curry looks like, even though he just came off of last night, 21 is a bad night for Curry, which is crazy as a shooter. But we can say that's a bad night for Curry. I'm taking Curry as the best player in the world, mainly because just you watch him play, your jaw is dropping at least 5 times the entire game. It's crazy to watch that man play. And now that his defense isn't even that big of a liability,
Yeah,
I'm taking Curry over Giannis.
I would say he's an average defender. He's not
Yeah.
great, but he's not
It
terrible
used to
either.
be horrible. And if you
Yeah,
look at his defensive stats, you'll be surprised.
yeah. He's done put on weight over the years, got stronger, and all that. So yeah, no, Steph. Yeah, Steph's definitely a better defender now. But what you think, Mally?
I agree with Kim in the top three thing. KD has been in my top three, really top two players in the world for a long time. But I
Yeah,
think this is the first time we're starting to see KD kind of regress a little bit. And he's not regressing in the sense of he can't score the ball the same. But KD's actually been making a little bit, like his shot selection hasn't been the same. Like he just looks like he's starting to take those steps towards the end of his career. So I
yeah,
think
and
he kind
he's
of,
a little bit too, kinda. He's KD next 2 years. KD's going to start to get in that old man range.
yeah.
He's like 34 now, so yeah, he's getting up there. Him and Steph. And I hate
Yeah,
that.
we talk about LeBron's longevity, but honestly, when Curry gets to that age, I don't think he'll fall off either. Like the same way we still see LeBron at the top, not at the top of his game, but still up in the upper echelon of the players. I still think Curry, when he gets up to LeBron's age, he'll still be doing some of the stuff that LeBron's doing. You know?
Yeah, see that too. Only because his shot's not going
Yeah,
nowhere.
exactly.
90.
He's
So
not doing the same stuff that LeBron's doing. He's not
Mhm.
driving to the lane, dunking on people. It's not wear and tearing on his knees. He does have kind of questionable ankles, but at the same time, Curry's jump shot's never going to go away, and we'll
yeah,
see that come 5, 6 years.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now he can definitely. I can see him. I can see him literally averaging like he's in that 28 to 30 range right now, but I can still see him getting like 18 and 20 by the time he's like 38, just running around. He's gonna have to stay in shape and condition, but he always does that. So he's gonna be running around, shooting the three, and then he's still a threat to when he comes off the screen. Y'all got to pick up. So now I'm gonna blow by you and get a layup. So the way that he scores and the attention that he draws, he'll always have an impact on the court. It's just it'll start to decline just a little bit. But with LeBron, it's like he's really not. It's like he is declining, but he's not, only because his impact. Like back then, when LeBron would get 30 and 10, it was like you felt it. It's like, yeah, like this is 30 and 10. But like when LeBron gets 30 and 10 now, it's just like. Hmm, he's gonna do it though. I ain't taking nothing away from him. He's gonna do it with ease. But it's just team success, and then, like I was saying, that plays a big factor. So LeBron to get overlooked a little bit, but
Wait,
he's
so Mally, wait, who did you say was your top player?
I was doing the top three like you. That's where I was at. I forgot where I was at myself. Uh, so I'm like you. I got to give Luca his flowers right now, especially after watching him the other day. He just makes it look too easy. Like certain things he just does, and you like, is he trying? Like, is he really even trying? But he still gets to the basket. He still gets his rocks off. So I think we got to
yeah,
give Luca his flowers right now. I'm putting Steph Curry at two though. I'm a big Steph Curry fan. I've been a Steph Curry fan all my life. And Steph Curry had an amazing year last year. Like he's had an amazing career. Steph Curry's great. But I
yeah,
just don't think that there's anybody in the league right now who's better than Giannis. Like Giannis is on Bron timing right now, and he's getting better. Like what we was just talking about a minute ago with Ben Simmons. Unlike Ben Simmons, Giannis is shooting jumpers this year. Giannis has proven that he can knock down the mid-range shot when needed. Like Giannis has gotten better, and Giannis looks
yeah,
like he's in kill mode again. I think he kind of was chilling a little bit last year, but I think Giannis is just as hungry as he was. Like he's going after offensive rebounds and putting it back on two people. Like Giannis is making some really good basketball plays, and for his size, he's just doing things that is not really he's supposed to be doing at that size. So I think Giannis is the best player in the world. I think he's going to be for the next couple of years. I think he's kind of getting LeBron treatment right now, as of like he's not getting the MVPs he should have got. Giannis probably should have won 3, 4 MVPs in a row, but they don't like to give it to guys back to back to back to back.
yeah. They give voter fatigue and all that, which I don't get. I don't care if somebody won it 20 years straight and we had to deal with it. If he is going out there and he's the most valuable player, he deserves the award. And Giannis, as of right now, is definitely the most valuable player in the league. You can put him on any team right now and they're going to the playoffs. They might not win the championship, but you can put him on any roster right now and they're gonna go to the
And,
playoffs.
and that's exactly what makes Luca top three in my opinion over Katie. Because Luca, if you just look at the names on the roster of the Mavericks, and then you see how he makes them better, the same way LeBron was making people better when he was in his prime, Luca's doing that exact thing and still dropping 38 night in, night out. It's absolutely insane to watch. So that's why we got to give Luca his flowers.
Right.
Yeah.
If you
I
take
know.
Giannis away from the Bucks, they're the Lakers 2.0. So
Exactly. That's yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But before I get into my top three, I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna ask both of y'all because I love Luca and he's definitely knocking on that door. Don't get me wrong. He's, if not this year, next year, probably for sure. It's gonna be inevitable. But I don't know if we're gonna put Luca over Jokic just yet. Just yet. I think Jokic deserves to be. Now I will put Luca over Embiid. I think Luke, they're in the same. Yeah, but I'll give Luca a little edge. But I think Jokic deserves a little edge over Luca too, just based off of he's been to Western Conference Finals too. See, Luca, he lost. Did he lose first round back to back years? I think he did, and then and then he
When he was in his younger stages, yes. But what I want to rebuttal to you with is the Clippers look nice right now, but there's one person they do not want to see in the playoffs,
no
and
no
that
no
is
no.
Luka.
Yeah, no, and he hates the Clippers. It's like when he sees the Clippers, like he's gonna make sure like he gets 40, and he's gonna be talking to him bad too, which I like because they all think like when they had the Morris, when like one of the Morris, Marcus Morris and Pat Bev and even Trez, a Louisville guy, I rock with Trez, but they was all trying to like attack Luca basically and like say he ain't this and say he ain't that, and he was destroying them in the bubble, and he destroyed them the year after, and they both went to 7, and he ended up losing both. But um,
And I don't see that in Jokic. Even though Jokic just won back-to-back MVPs, I still gotta get. In my opinion, I gotta give it to Luka. What about you, Mally?
I give it to Luca because team success definitely plays a part, and I think that Luca's done more than Jokic with less. Like if you put Luca on the Nuggets and he has just those little pieces that are better than the ones at the Mavs, I think that he would have went farther with the Nuggets. And I'm not taking anything away from Jokic. I like Jokic in the back-to-back MVPs. He's a great guy. I think Joel should have won one of those last year. I think Joel should have won it. I haven't always been that high on Jokic. Like I don't know. I maybe because of the way he plays and his play style, Jokic isn't that impressive to me. He's a great player. I'm not saying that he's not great, but I don't think the things he does is better than Luca. Like I don't think he brings more value to the table than Luca right now. I'm taking Luca over Jokic franchise wise. Like if I had to build my team
Franchise,
around one, I'm taking
yeah.
Luca.
Like if somebody said who would I have to take on my team right now, I'm gonna go Luca. And I'm thinking about the future too. I think my team and whoever chooses Jokic, we gonna go the same. Neither one of us will probably win the championship this year. But I think Luca will definitely probably get one before Jokic. But I just think Jokic might be more ready. I just feel like I don't know. He might be higher on this list now. I mean, his stat line last year was ridiculous. What he averaged like 28, 14, and like 7 assists, like as a center. Like that's just ridiculous. And then think about if he had a healthy Jamal Murray, and the last time he had a healthy Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr., they went to the Western Conference Finals and they lost to the eventual champions, which losing to LeBron obviously is not. But you've seen him in that series. You've seen him in all these series over the years. Jokic ain't no choke artist. Like Embiid, this is Embiid's problem. Embiid's had times where he's disappeared in the playoffs. He's had times where he should have did like the bubble. I don't know anybody who can name one thing Embiid did against the Celtics in the bubble in that playoff series. One they got, so I'm pretty sure they got swept, and they just played terrible. Tobias Harris, all of them, they all played terrible.
That
I've
team was
never,
riddled with injuries, though.
yeah, no,
Um,
it was, but I don't know. I think Embiid just he's
Rob.
there, but he needs one more thing.
So who's your best player in the world?
I want to say Steph. Y'all know I want to say Steph, but I'm gonna go Giannis. I'm gonna go Giannis just by a hair, and I think it comes in on defense too because he's gonna match Steph in points and he's gonna get them rebounds too. But he's also gonna be the best, probably the best defender. As of right now, he's probably the best player on both sides of the ball. Pretty much every time he steps on the court. And when you're two-way like that, and you got a winning like formula at basketball, I think as of right now, Giannis is just too much. But if anybody's right there with him, like as far as just that crown, it's Steph. And he's got a case too because they just won the championship. So that's why I say it's iffy because Steph coming off a ring, Finals MVP. But yeah, I'm gonna say Giannis by hair.
I'm feeling it. So this is my next question I had to ask. With us seeing the kind of transition of the NBA here from the older guys leaving out and the younger guys stepping into today's stardom, who do y'all think is going to be the first young guy to get a championship? Like out of the Luca, Tatum, that crew, who do you think is going to be the first one to win a ring?
Hmm.
Go ahead and go first.
Y'all want me to go
If I
first?
you Mally,
Go ahead,
yeah,
Melly.
go ahead.
Oh, first, okay. My initial guess was gonna be Luca because he has all the tools to be the guy to lead his team to a championship, but I really don't see the Mavs putting the right pieces around him and rebuilding correctly the way they need to win the championship. And I feel like Tatum is really the next best guess, like the next best guy. And I think last year him getting there with the Celtics and him being the guy and falling short and everybody blaming him for them falling short, like Tatum taking a lot of that blame. I think that you can already see now how that kind of played a part in his mental. Like you said earlier, he's taking some shots this year we wouldn't see Tatum take last year, and I think that
Yeah,
that will really make a difference in the playoffs. Like it was some of those games in the Warriors where it's like Tatum,
more.
you need to try to take over right now, and he didn't have that. I
Mm-hmm.
think he'll have that this year. Really, it might be this year. Like I think the Celtics have a good case to go back and do it again, and Tatum might have the tools to take them to a championship. So I definitely think it'll be Tatum to do it. But my sleeper pick of the one who was like, this isn't really an individual. I think the Cavs have a really good team to go win a championship. They don't really have an individual guy who will take them there, If they can keep all of these young pieces together, they definitely
Yeah.
have the talent to do it in the near future.
Yeah, just give the Cavs a couple years. The Cavs will probably make an Eastern Conference Finals appearance in the next couple years. I don't know about representing the East, but I think they're Donovan's been playing good. He's been playing great actually. I think he's probably averaging like 30 right now. DG's done started off slow, but he'll pick up, and then Mobley almost won Rookie of the Year. He's a great player. Jared Allen's a great player. So they got a good constructed team, and they got some nice pieces in Cleveland. But a name you didn't mention, and I wouldn't put him right. He's not with them guys yet, but he's going to be, and that's John Morant. The Grizzlies need I don't know. I don't even know what they're missing because they got a big Jaren Jackson Jr. is good. They got Zaire Williams if he can develop and become a good wing, but they got Dylan Brooks too. Dylan Brooks is a good wing. So I mean they got what they need, but I think they just need one more thing and they gonna make a run at the Western Conference Finals for sure. They may have went last year if they don't run into Golden State. They probably go last year and lose to Golden State, but Ja's gonna knock on that door too. And Ja's gonna he's like this year, he's gonna take that next step. And I think he'll insert himself in that Tatum and Luka category. Cause I think his athleticism and just his ability to just finish in the lane is crazy. And he led the NBA points in the paint as a guard. That's unheard of.
You
That's
going with
unheard of.
Ja?
I wouldn't go with Ja, but I would like to see his name mentioned in that. Yo, who's knocking on my door? Hold on.
Right. You
Yeah,
just turn off your camera and mute it real quick. All right. And then no, so my pick, honestly, I'm gonna have to agree with you. I'm gonna go Jason Tatum. We saw him knocking on the door last year. We see him taking shots that we didn't see him take last year. He's knocking them down too. He's having some high performances. I want to see Jason Tatum. First of all, when I watch Jason Tatum score, and when he goes off in those third and those fourth quarters, when it's just him with the ball in his hands getting a bucket, it's absolutely impeccable to watch. Like it's amazing. It's like poetry in motion to watch. And him just come up the court and look at the guy that's guarding him and just give him a flat out bucket.
Mm.
But I also want to add, yeah. So I feel like Jason Tatum will be the first young guy to really move us into the next generation and get us another champion. A few years ago, I would have said Giannis, and then he did it himself. Like he's proven himself already, you know. So we can't even include him in that conversation anymore. But I want to say Jason Tatum, and another name I want to include in that conversation is a name that's not even in the league yet. Victor Wembanyama. If he gets put in a good system, like if he gets drafted into a good system, and we're not even they don't even have to be good yet. If they start building around him well with a good front office, we can see him in the conference finals and the finals within the next 5 6 years. That is a very very talented guy, and people were questioning LeBron when he came in the league to see how quick he would get to the championship. We saw how quick he did it. So let's see how well Victor Wembanyama does it.
No,
But
yeah,
Victor definitely will be one of them guys to look out for. I want to bring up a comment that somebody said. Kay Cunningham is the future of the NBA, not a Pistons fan. That was Johnny. You know
oh yeah,
the Johnny.
Cade, Cade's
Cade is
definitely
though. Cade
the
is
Cade.
though.
I like Cade.
I like him a lot. He just got to figure out his consistency. Like he's got to
Yeah,
be the
I'm
bench.
gonna say something that's gonna make a lot of Detroit fans, including Bo, very happy. Jaden Ivey is the most NBA ready prospect in their class, and he's shown it so far. And Jaden Ivey is going to be a very, very good basketball player. The Pistons have a very, very good young team. It's not crazy to say that they'll be a good team here in the next year or this year. You know,
yeah,
I feel like Jaden Ivey is a great. He. We saw how he was a leader for Purdue. He would have some games where he would step up and drop 30 points. He would have some games where he would step back and drop 14 and 10 assists. I see him doing that in the league as well. He gets his own shot very well. I feel like he'll be a good fit in the league and a very good fit for the Pistons alongside Kay Cunningham and Marvin Bagley. And
yeah.
Sadiq Bey has been playing very good
Right.
like recently in the last few games. So we'll see how that goes as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of Ivy, it's gonna be interesting to see how they're gonna make them fit because me personally, I'd rather see Jaden Ivey bringing the ball up the court and leading it. And he'll still get his touches, obviously, because they didn't draft him for no reason. And they'll probably end up making it work. But the majority of the offense will start with Cade because, I mean, it's his team. It'll start with Cade. But I think if Jaden Ivey would have went to a team like the Knicks or before they got Brunson or just a team like that, just a team where he can go in and like they give him the keys to the offense and then he worked like how the Grizzlies did Ja. When soon as Ja came in, they gave him the keys to the offense, and now you see them building up, and now the Grizzlies are one of the best teams in the NBA. So I think Jaden Ivey, I think he would have took off even faster if he didn't go in this situation with Detroit, only because he got another guard next to him. But he's been playing good too. I seen a clip of him the other day doing some tough lay and like kissed it right off the glass. I was like, man, this dude he looked like John Morant, but he can shoot better right now too. So
Right. And I completely agree with you though. Like I feel like if Jaden Ivey was in Banchero's situation where he had a team where he was the guy, like they gave him that he would really be the rookie of the year. Like I don't think that he's better than Banchero just because he has the size and the skill set to go with it. But this was really like the worst draft class for him to be in because he's not. There's no chance of anybody getting the rookie of the year besides Banchero, really. But I think Jaden Ivey's deserving of it. Like he's
Yeah.
went out there and he's been a real factor for Detroit, even though
Yeah.
Detroit is not doing so well. But
yeah,
he's gonna be a guy. I don't know if he'll stay at Detroit. Really, I don't know how long Detroit to keep him because he doesn't really fit alongside Cade too well. They kind of clash against each other with their playing styles. Because I feel like Jaden really needs the ball, but so does Cade, and they're gonna give it
yeah,
to Cade before Jaden.
yeah.
Indeed. Um, yeah, and Bogey was a great pickup for them as well. Like somebody just said in the comments as well. And Johnny, to what you just said, playmaking is a very underrated aspect for Jaden Ivey. Like as you said,
Yeah, he can play
eh,
like a combo guard. Like he can play the one, but I would say he's like a two, really two. But he can play make two. That's why I really want to see him in a point guard role, and I think he can really make that transition. I think he can really morph himself into a actual point guard, and he's the floor general. He's leading the team, so he can't do that playing off ball with Cade. But I think he can though. So it's gonna be interesting to see. But he's gonna get his buckets for sure.
absolutely.
I'm just testing the mic real quick. Somebody said they can't hear me. Can y'all hear now?
Yeah.
Knock you out.
No, it was them in the comments.
Um,
Uh, all right, Rob, did you have another topic that you wanted to bring up?
man.
Okay, yeah, they said they can hear you.
What about that topic? I mean, bring up something from last night. How'd y'all feel about Devin Booker and Klay getting into it, and Klay bringing up the 4 championships and all that? I love when players talk trash, and I love it when it like comes from somebody you don't expect. Like Klay's never been ejected before, and he got his first ejection yesterday. So that was funny just to see. Like he really went his whole career, and now just on this random day, like I pull up Instagram, he's over here arguing with Devin Booker. But I ain't surprised with Devin Booker because if y'all don't know, Devin Booker be talking
Nah,
crazy.
he
Like if
does.
you
He does.
see like interviews of like players naming trash talkers and people that just run their mouth and all that. Joe, I seen an interview of Embiid. He was saying Devin Booker be talking crazy, like for no reason too. Every time you get a bucket, something he's just talking crazy. So now that was funny to see them going back and forth. And Klay saying, "Yeah, I got them I got 4 championships. I got 4 of them." I know D Book can't have no comeback after that, but they did win the game though. So
Nah,
I
and
guess
it's crazy you said that because Klay really started it though. Like it was a play that they gave it to Book. He tried to ISO on Klay, and Klay locked him up, and he was like, "Nah, we're not going from that." He told him that, and they just start going back and forth. But I like
yeah,
it though. I like seeing something like that
I,
from Klay, especially in a game like that because it was getting real competitive at that time. Like they was going back and forth. Everybody
yeah,
was hooping for real. So I was glad to see that from Klay. Like you said, Klay don't never act like that, but
Yeah,
yeah.
that four
He's got that.
rings he got that dog, but he's just not the kind of guy to usually talk like that. But that 4 rings kind of make you want to express it. Like you
yeah,
gotta respect us a little bit. We
yeah.
gonna do
That's
some
that's
things.
that. If there's one player that deserves to be able to talk, it's Clay.
Yeah, it's
He's been
definitely
through it all, and he's a winner.
yeah.
So,
All all of them, even
mhm.
bum Draymond. They just winners. They just winners.
To talk
But
about a comment they said real quick,
yep,
not to jump topics, but even with the Mavs losing Christian Wood was a great pickup, maybe the best pickup outside of Donovan. And I like that topic. Who do y'all think made the best move this offseason? I think that Christian Wood is a good pickup for the Mavs. I don't know if it's the best move to be made the offseason just because of how well the Cavs have been doing with Donovan and how well Donovan's been
yeah,
playing outside of the Jazz system. But Christian Wood is definitely a dog, and the Mavs needed a guy like that. The Mavs haven't
yeah,
had a big in how long, but I don't know if even adding Christian Wood is enough for the Mavs. So I
yeah.
think the Cavs definitely made a better move.
Yeah.
Yes. See, I think, well, obviously, Donovan Mitchell's a star. Christian Wood is a young rising star. So obviously, Donovan Mitchell is the best pickup or the best offseason move that we saw offseason. The Clippers adding John Wall is a very good addition to the bench, and like I said, the Clippers can have their whole bench start on another team, and John Wall is a very good addition to that team. However, with Christian Wood, that's a very good pickup, but I want the Mavs to dive into that fully. We know what JaVale McGee can get. I want Christian Wood to start. I don't know why he came off the bench last night. I don't know if he's been coming off the bench all season, but
I
I,
think
I want Christian Wood to be starting. And JaVale McGee, he's been playing good so far this season, but we know his ceiling. I want Christian Wood and Luka to be a dynamic deal in the league. I want them to play on the court a lot together.
Yeah, I definitely feel like they got to play Christian Wood more too, though, just because he adds such an element of defense that the Mavs don't have. You got guys like Luca who can't really defend well. They got Finley Smith, who's a pretty great defender, but they don't have no rim protection. Like you said, JaVale McGee's been hooping, he's been doing better than he usually does, but JaVale McGee's old. JaVale McGee's dang near
Yeah,
just as old as LeBron. So I feel like we
yeah,
kind of wasting time to keep giving him those reps when you got
yeah.
a young guy who could make an impact for you in a playoff run like we was just talking about. So they definitely got to utilize Wood more, but he's a great pickup for them. I think that's
yeah,
the
no,
first step they taken towards really rebuilding around Luka.
yeah. That's a great pickup. They gonna need somebody who to score again. It's gonna be Wood's not a bad man. He's not that yet, but he's definitely a piece you can use to build around for sure. So he's definitely gonna fit. I mean, he just had 25 off the bench the other night, so he's definitely gonna fit. And he's gonna fit well too in Dallas, even if he comes off the bench or he starts or he does that. But I think Dallas will need one more piece. Losing Brunson, not a guard though. I think they might need a wing, get
Yeah,
some
a
points
wing.
front on the perimeter from a wing. Now, if they get a wing, they can give him like 15 or 20 or something like that. And over the next couple of years, they'll make a run at a championship for sure.
And speaking of Brunson, that was a great pickup for the Knicks. Brunson is looking really good. And this is my opinion on what the Knicks need to do now that they've added Brunson, and Brunson has proved that he's that guard, that guy that he is. I think they need to move Julius Randle. They need to let Brunson and Cam Reddish kind of try to lead their future. I ain't gonna lie, Cam Reddish is looking tough. Cam Reddish he's looked real tough at the beginning of the
He
season.
has
He's
been,
still inconsistent. He's still a little bit inconsistent. But
yeah,
once he gets over that, I think they'd have a good 1-2 in Brunson and Reddish. They kind of got to move away from Randall because Randall's really taking the teams a couple steps back. He slows the offense down. He forces them to have the ball in his hand more than they need
We
to.
know what we're gonna get out of Randall.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah,
So I think if the Knicks, you're making moves to get guys like Brunson and Reddish, who are younger guys who have a high ceiling, you got to get rid of Randall. Like you got to sell out for the rebuild now. So the Knicks
yeah,
have potential for Brunson to be a really good move in the long run. And like the comment said, RJ needs to step it up. I don't know if RJ needs to step it up. I
yeah.
think that
That's a good point. Let me say something about RJ real quick because as a Knicks fan, I know, and I'll be seeing this every game. I'll be watching almost every game we play. We play the Hornets at 6:30. I'm watching it. RJ RJ's problem is inconsistent. RJ his inconsistency. Like RJ needs to find a way. He needs to find like a playing style that's suitable and that's going to be consistent in this league. RJ should be averaging 22 point. He averaged 20 last year. He's going to average 20. I need him to be more efficient though. RJ needs to be shooting like 45 from the field, like 38 from three, and at least like like 80 from the line. Like this is stuff. This is stuff
Crazy. I ain't gonna lie.
that he needs to work on. Like if you pull up his free throw percentage right now, I guarantee you he's never shot 80%. I know off the top of my head he's never shot 80% in the league this year. So this is certain stuff like that he needs to work on. So I do agree with that comment. He needs to step it up. And then what you said about Julius Randle, now this will be a long shot. Now he's been looking good this year, and he'll be better off this year than he was last year because Brunson's taking more pressure off him. So we don't have to start our offense with Julius Randle, a 6'9", 260-pound bull running up the court and just running people over and all that. We got an actual point guard to initiate the offense and get Julius in his spots and do that. But if I was the Knicks, I wouldn't be mad if I think we have 3 picks. We didn't trade none of our picks. And we didn't even draft the player last year. I would get whoever gets the number 1 pick, I would give them a blank piece of paper. Now I know they're going to choose Victor, but I would give them Julius Randle and I would give them multiple picks, any player, anything, and the Knicks get Victor. Now, if they did that, that would be crazy. And he would bring the Knicks back in the next couple of years once he gets his foot and then adds weight and all that. But if I'm the Knicks, I'm trying that out. I'm saying, here's a blank piece of paper. I'm going to give you Julius Randle, a dude who's going to get you 20 and 10. He's already established. He's been an all-star before. Multiple picks too. But just give me Victor. I would try that if I'm the Knicks. That could work out. That could work out perfectly if that's what they tried to do. But they just extended Julius and RJ, and they just gave Brunson the bag. So I guess they'll see where it goes. But
To quickly respond to a comment that somebody said, they said, should I take Giannis and KD to score over 25 tonight? Absolutely, I would throw that into a parlay. Anyways, to spin back on the Knicks about what we were talking about earlier, they have some really good pieces. Not gonna lie, some very good pieces. When Cam Reddish got the opportunity to play, he showed what he can do. I'm probably the biggest Cam Reddish fan in the world, but I'll be the first to tell you that his inconsistency has been a question for a very long time, even back to the Duke days.
yeah,
When he's hot, you see it.
yeah,
He'll heat up in the playoffs. He'll heat up in the regular season game. He'll heat up at any random time. But the next game, he'll probably go for 6 points, and everybody will tune in to watch how Cam Reddish is gonna do. But he has all the talent in the world, all the skill in the world. Even his defense has stepped up. We didn't see the defense until really he got to the league. And when he got to the league, he was the best defensive player on the Hawks for a little bit. So my question is, following that, who do y'all think can win Most Improved Player this year? Who's y'all early prediction to win Most Improved Player this year?
most
That's a good one.
improved player. Might take me a second.
I'll
Who won?
start off. I'll start
Go,
off just quickly. You said who won last year?
yeah.
I believe I'm going to fact check this real quick. I believe. Okay. I like what somebody just said in the comments. I believe that was Xavier. Somebody just said Christian Wood or Lowry marketing
I like
can win.
Laurie Markkinen for
No,
that.
Lowry
I
Markkinen.
like Laurie Markkinen for
He
that.
can if he can be the Jazz best player and not even get in the playoffs, but just show some type of promise. Because the Jazz will have the draft and they'll have the Jazz are going to go in the right direction.
Yes.
But
You know, what Danny Ainge, he's a good GM. You see, he tried to fleece the league with Donovan. He tried to get 8 first
Yeah.
round Mitchell from us, and he didn't get the Knicks, but he didn't really fleece the Cavs. But he pretty much got what he wanted. So he might
Yeah.
have a this year, and they'll draft and do that. But most improved player, I don't even know off the top of my head, but
It
I
was
do.
John Morant last year, just so you all know.
Okay, it was
yeah, he
Ja.
gave, and that was what I was gonna say because that does take me to my point. I didn't mean to cut you off, Rob.
No, go ahead.
Ja last year won it, and he gave it to Desmond Bain because he was like Desmond Bain should have won it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Desmond Bain's good
I was
too.
gonna say
Now that
Desmond Bain has been showing like the same type of improvement. He is not really improving, but he's kind of stepping up into a role. He shoots the ball really well, so I
yeah,
also will throw him in that conversation. But that's who Ja feels like should have deserved it last year, and I think he could run it back and do the same thing again this year. But continue, Rob.
yeah.
Yeah.
But a long shot though, and I don't want to show too much bias, but I think Brunson averaged about 16 points a game this year. I think if he can increase that and he can stay consistent and average about like 22, 23, and the Knicks go to the playoffs, I think everything we seen from Brunson in the playoffs last year is what he can be. I don't know about
Absolutely.
30 every night, but he can be a great player in this league. He can be an all-star in this league just off of his skill set and his talent alone. I think if he can, stay the course, he can keep doing what he's doing and just stay consistent. I think, yeah, just increase his points per game. Just make sure he's improving in all the categories he did last year. Because last year I could see it because you got Luka, and Luka's average is 30, and he's also one of the best players in the league. So his usage rate is going to be higher than
Yeah.
Brunson. Question, but that's why Brunson went to the Knicks so he can have the ball in his hands more. So if we see Brunson do that and do all the little things that he was doing in the playoffs with no Luka, I could see Brunson winning Most Improved Player too. That's a long shot though, but I can't see it.
Valley?
Um, I don't see this one is kind of a iffy one because he already had his year last year and he solidified himself a little bit. But Jordan Poole, if Jordan Poole strikes that consistency that he's needed, like that's been his thing, can Jordan
Yeah,
Poole do this night in and night out? And even this year, he hasn't been all that consistent. I think he had a game where he had like 7 points the other night, but then he dropped 20 something yesterday. So I think if Jordan Poole can like halfway through the season really find a way to be a 20 point a night guy as a 6 man for the Warriors, that he's either gonna get 6 man of the year or most improved player. So I would
yeah,
go with Jordan Poole, but that's another a little long shot, kind of because he has that recognition, but he's finding his consistency this year.
Yeah.
yeah. And
And with me, I would say with the injury to Chet, this frees up more usage for a guy that we already know is an absolute killer. He's an absolute baller. He can put the ball in the bucket. Can make his teammates better. I'm going SGA. I think Shea Gilgeous-Alexander can win. Even though we will see where they go with winning and losing games. If they want to win games, Shea is the guy to win those games for them. I feel like if I was the Clippers back a few years ago, I would have held on to him. But he's going
yeah,
to show them why he should have held on to him. And he's going to be an absolute star in this league. Maybe this year is his year to absolutely step it up and show he can have a John Morant year, like John Morant had last year. I want to see that out of him.
yeah.
But
SGA good. He's looked good this year so far. I know he had a great night the other night. He's not had some great nights. He's just I forgot what team they were playing against, but he was just killing somebody the other night. He had like 32, like 7 and 8 or something like that, with like 3 blocks and 3 steals. So yeah, no, I like SGA as a player. He's definitely a good player. I like SGA. And if the Clippers held on to him and waited for him to develop, can you imagine
Oh,
him,
they'd be
Kawhi,
crazy.
and B coming out the West? When they're all healthy, that's I don't know about them being a healthy Bucks, but when they're all healthy, they should be coming out the West for sure. Either them or
they're
Golden State.
definitely a champion. They're a high championship contender
Yeah,
year in and year out
And
yeah,
with that team.
just to talk about some of the comments, he said watch for Trey Man. He got a good chance, and Trey Murphy too. And I agree,
yeah,
those guys have definitely been getting their little shine on, but the NBA just kind of has a little hate in their heart, and they don't like to give it to guys like that. Like they don't like to
Okay.
always give it to the guys who still got a lot of years ahead of them, still got that youth. They
Yeah.
like to give to more established guys. I really like that shot pick. He's one of my favorite players, and I think that he got a
yeah,
really good chance too.
yeah. He's got a nice game. I like SGA's game.
I, um, with Trey Murphy, what we see from him already, and what I've seen from him before this year, I think Trey Murphy will have a very good year. I want him to be a good player in the NBA. However, for him to put himself in that conversation, I don't think it'll be possible when all three guys come back. If CJ, Bi, and Zion are healthy, I don't really know. But that team with Trey Murphy there, they're gonna be a good playoff team. If the way they play without Zion and Bi, and they're gonna be a very good team. They're gonna contend and they're gonna fight. And
Yeah,
that team
Facts.
fights. They play defense. They hustle. They get after you. I want to
Hey,
see that team play.
and I gotta give a little bit of that to Valanciunas. Like he's
Oh,
been
yeah.
he's just been a different guy this year.
He's
And
king.
he was looking like this a little bit last year, but it's like he's playing with a different level of intensity. He's kind of
Yeah,
really stepped into that vet role. Like I think he's starting to get it now. Like I gotta lead these guys. I gotta be a vet. So the
Yep.
Pelicans look like in Willie Green, great coach. They got
yeah,
they
he's a
got
good.
they got a lot going on over there in the Pelicans. The Pelicans is another one of those we were talking about young teams earlier. They might get one sooner than all of those teams, really.
Yeah. Absolutely.
They,
Especially with that leadership from Valanciunas as a starting center who can put himself in a top center in the league conversation. Not the best center in the league, but he's definitely up there on the echelon, like upper echelon of them. I feel like Valanciunas, what I've seen from him over the years, if he can play a consistent role and just help all the other guys out, that team, the Pelicans are going to be dangerous.
yeah. You know what's crazy? He can shoot a little bit too. As
Yep.
big as he is, he can shoot a little bit too. He had a game where he went like 7 for 7 from three last year, which is crazy. He was cashing out, but no, he's a bruiser. He's a beast. Like when he's in the paint, like it's like him and Zion when they're in the game together, and you're trying to get the rebound, you might as well just say goodbye because you're not boxing them out. Like the only person that could really probably box him out is somebody like Steven Adams. Cause he's like just wide, but he be getting all them rebounds. He be finishing. He hit his free throws. So now, Valanciunas is good. He fits right in the New Orleans system. And New Orleans got a good team. They gave Phoenix a run for their money last year. If Zion is healthy in that series probably goes to 7. Because Phoenix probably wanted to choke anyway, just like they did against Dallas. But they was probably waiting for to choke anyway. But if Zion plays in that series, I think it goes to 7. But now the Pelicans, they on the come up. They on the come up.
We just
I
got a
think we
comment.
should.
I was gonna
Hold on.
say I'm thinking the same thing you're thinking, Kim. But I was just gonna say this comment was something that we was talking about earlier, and I kind of like this conversation. This could really be our last topic if that's straight with y'all.
Yeah,
Uh, the comment said, "Is Kuz finally what we thought he could be?" And I've had this opinion since I seen Kuz play in summer league when him and Lonzo Ball went crazy that year.
yeah,
Kuz has always had all of the pieces he needed to be a guy in the league. Kuz was
yeah,
good in a good situation at first. The Lakers had that young team. It was looking like it was going to be good. He had a rough couple of years, but I think that everybody, when they initially go play with LeBron, it takes some adjusting to get used to. They didn't
yeah,
let him get time to adjust. They traded him away. And the Wizards suck. The Wizards are not a good team. They're not going to be a contender. But Kuz has potential to get himself out of that situation, and like he has some trade value now. He's established. I think Kuz will get him a championship if he gets in the right situation. Like Kuz is that
Mhm.
type of guy. He can really be your third third option, but he's a
yeah.
really good third option. Like he's a good
Kuz,
third
Yeah.
option.
How do
Kuz,
you feel about that, Rob?
Kuz is like no, he's good. Kuz is definitely good. And what I might say in a little bit might sound crazy, but I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get into that in a second though. But Kuz's thing is like when Kuz is on, like he's on, like he's like high risk, high reward. He might have he's gonna get his shots up too because he be shooting the ball. But like say in Washington, like he might have a night where he takes like 15 shots and he hits like 5 or 6 of them. But like when he has them nights where he's like really getting the shots up and he's hitting, like he will get in the 30 ball range. Like and he will do it like not consistently, but he'll do it more than once. It's not just no one game fluke. Kuz is definitely a good player. He's definitely becoming what he's supposed to be. And he should have been that in LA. And this is what I was about to say that might sound crazy. You want to know why Kuz wasn't doing that? Wasn't playing how he's supposed to play in LA? Because he was on that light skin stupid stuff. Now look, all them dumb outfits and all that blonde hair and changing colors and all that. You see, he would have some games where he does all right, but most of the time he was out there and he was goofing off. He playing around. He doing too much. But now I can't tell you the last time I seen Kuz like say something dumb or like do something radical with his hair and just like be on like just full light skin timing. And you see he's out there getting buckets like all that fashion stuff. And that's what happens when you put a light skin in LA. Like you just can't do it. It don't go hand to hand. This is why Kuz should have got drafted somewhere else. And Lonzo, both of them. Cause that stuff, like it might not seem to play a role, but like it really does. Like, especially when you drag it like Kuz is dragging it. It'd be different if Kuz is doing it every couple months. Nah, this is an everyday thing with him. Like, basically what I'm saying, he's not focused on basketball. when he was in LA. He wasn't focused on basketball. But now it seems like he's focused on basketball and he's putting all the childish stuff behind him. And that's why you see him going out there and he's playing like he's supposed to play. But now Kuz he's a good player for sure. He might take that step.
Here's what thing has been with Kyle Kuzma his entire career. He I've seen it at Utah. I saw it in the summer league. He was a great player. When he was in the summer league, he was still in the Midwest, just playing good. However, when he got to LA and the spotlight was on him, and even more spotlight comes in when you're playing with LeBron. You add LeBron and LA. Any
Yeah.
young player is going to struggle with that, no matter who they are. Lonzo struggled with it a little less because he's had the spotlight on him since he was uh, 18 years old, 17 years old. However, the difference was with Kyle Kuzma. Kyle Kuzma was new to the spotlight. That's why he struggled with consistency and everything. He was a rookie. People were hating on him so much. Even when he had a few years here and there, he got the spotlight on him. He had never seen it. He was a Utah youth. He went from being a Utah youth to being an LA Laker starting alongside LeBron James, and people expected him to be LeBron's Robin. That's not something you just switch up from being an 18-year-old to a 19-year-old. That's not something you pick up quickly. So I knew as soon as he went to somewhere where he could just go, just be not by himself, but not be in LA with LeBron, even though LeBron does make his teammates better, he needed to get out of the spotlight for him to fully mold into the basketball player he can be to fulfill his potential. And I've always been a Kyle Kuzma fan, even when he was at Utah. Cruise control. I want the Washington Wizards to go into cruise control, and I believe it can happen.
I don't know about that one. I don't know if they're gonna let Kuz take over.
Yeah, he's not going to take over, but what I mean by that, he's going to be a very good player, and especially if he stays there for a little bit. See, I want to see him go somewhere and have a good shot at the championship, but it's not going to happen in Washington. But if he can stay in Washington for a little bit and develop himself, I'll be very happy with that.
Yeah, he's definitely upping his value though. He's gonna be a guy that's gonna get a nice contract when his free agency time comes. He's upped his value to where he's one of those type of guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I
with
wouldn't be surprised if Kuz got a bag in the offseason too. Like if he wanted to explore somewhere else, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody gave him not a big time extension. Like the deal Poole just got,
Now,
he's
he's
not
not
ready
getting
for
100
that.
M's. He's not getting
Yeah,
100
he's
M's.
not getting 100 M's, but he can get 4 year 80. I can see him getting 80 million. But I need a consistent year this year with none of that extra stuff. But now if he stays consistent this year, he'll be due for a payday because he's still young too. So he'll be due for a payday for sure.
I think we should wrap it up there. We'll talk about that last comment next week for sure. We'll be live next Tuesday, 4 Eastern time, 3. Oh no.
3
Yeah.
Central
Four
Time, yeah,
four
4
four
Eastern.
Eastern time, 3 Central time. I have a special guest in mind, but we'll talk about it. But we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I feel like we should leave off on that note.
Yep.
Yeah.
Episode 2
Hey,
over and back live. We'll be back
yes,
next week,
sir.
Tuesday.
Hey, quick question, real quick. How many people do we have on stream?
As of right now, we only have 3, but we got up to about 9ish earlier, like
Yeah.
That's what's
midstream.
up. That's what's up.